All right, Khan, Shalom. Oh, we got the brother in here. Shalom, Shalom, King. So, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the 12 tribes of Yasha Allah. Giving the course all honor, glory, and praise unto the Most High God, Yahweh. In the name of only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. It's brother Yasha Allah.
Brother Right.
Khan, come back, y'all. Yet another video through the spirit power Yahweh Ba'Shem Hamashiach Ovalak Yahweh Shah. All right. Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Another day of prayer, another day of laboring for the Most High, another day of congregating with like-minded brethren, sisters through the Spirit, and another day of praising the Most High God, right, through His Son. All right, so it's currently 1 p.m. All right, in Japan right now through the Spirit, but it's literally Saturday afternoon, right? It's Saturday afternoon. But the time is just crazy, right? The time is crazy over here, and it's literally Friday night in the in the West Coast, right? It's literally Friday night in the West Coast, so we're doing the Friday night live still at the same time. So all praises to the Most High. All right, all praises to the Most High. So as you can see from the title of this video, man, let's get into it, right? Without further ado, let's get into it. Without further ado, let's kind of share it real quick through the Spirit, share the video, right? And because this is a hot topic, this is a major topic, right, that we're going into, or we're about to go into, Lord willing, right, through the Spirit. It's a hot topic because a lot of people are into this, and it's really our people that's into it, right? It's really our people. I see, Edomites, they get into it as well, and it's really, Eve that's in this. It's really Eve that's in this. That be messing with the damn horoscopes and the zodiac signs. So really, this video is really targeted towards our people that really want to get into, or that's into this. We know that certain people is into it more heavier than others, but nevertheless, our people is still in this. All right, so we have to tear the stronghold down, man. We got to tear the stronghold down. All right, we are done, tore up damn Christianity. So now we got to touch on other things as well. We got to touch on other things, right? Such as what? Zodiac signs, the spirituality, right? The stones, all this other stuff we have yet to cover. So right now we're going to focus on what? Astronomy and astrology, okay? Because that's really what it is. The zodiac signs, it's astronomy and astrology, and it's mythology as well, all mixed in. All right, so all mixed in with each other. So first and foremost, we're going to start with the definition of zodiac, right? Well, actually, before we get to the definition of zodiac, we're just going to get one precept on why we're going into this. As if you ever have watched our previous lives, you already know that we're doing these lives more focused on, right, breaking down certain strongholds that's on our people. So let's start off with the book of 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. Right, let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 11. And let's just start with that. So the Spirit, so like in 2 Corinthians, let me get this 2 Corinthians 10, actually, right? 10 and 5. Right, because that's what we're trying to do, right, through the Spirit. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, and let's start at verse 5, right, through the Spirit.
Let's see. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5, and it reads, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself and not against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
Right, so the Lord said we have to cast down imaginations. If you're into zodiac signs, that's a vain imagination. Zodiac signs, astrology, mythology, all this other stuff, that's exalting itself against the knowledge of the Most High. And it's bringing into captivity. And what we have to do is we have to break down these strongholds, right? We have to wage war against these false doctrines. False doctrine is not just the Trinity. It's also this other stuff, this weird stuff, this mythology. That's also false doctrine as well, because you can't find that in the Bible. You can't find it where the Most High said, all right, what is thy sign? And thy sign, if thou was born in the first month, in the second day of the month, you know, in the third year, thou art Pisces, thou art a Cancer. Hey, I never read that in the Bible, man. To be honest, never read that in the Bible. So what we have to do is we have to identify, okay, where the heck is this coming from? If it's not coming from the Most High, we're not dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? So, right. So without further ado, let's get into the definition of it through the Spirit. All right, the definition of it, where to have it. So zodiac. So zodiac says in astronomy and astrology, a belt around the heavens, extending 9 degrees on either side of the ecliptic, the plane of Earth's orbit, and of the sun's apparent annual path. The orbits of the moon and the principal planets also lie entirely within the zodiac. The 12 astrological signs of the zodiac are each considered to occupy 1/12 of 30 degrees of its great circle. So what's going on is, now the word zodiac, I think I have it pulled up in the Wikipedia. The word zodiac, let me see the name, right? So the English word zodiac is actually English word, right? But it says it derives from zodiacus, the Latinized form of the ancient Greek zodiacos, if I'm pronouncing that right, meaning cycle or a circle of little animals. So it means cycle, a circle of little animals. Yes, that's essentially what zodiac means. Because when you look at the zodiac signs, and I think I got to put them right here, the zodiac signs. I know, you know, Jake and Eve is pretty familiar with the zodiac signs, and you know, they always know. I mean, they really always know their sign. You know what I'm saying? They always know their sign. That, oh yeah, I think I'm a Leo, or I'm a Sagittarius. You know, or a, Jake and Eve, they'll be like, oh yeah, then Pisces, man, I ain't dealing with Pisces. That all that is madness. In the same time, you believe in the Bible. What are you talking about? Right? Oh yeah, I'm a Aries, but I believe in Christ. Those don't go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? But it says what? These are 12. There's 12 of them, right? So you have Aries, which is a ram, the Taurus, which is a bull, and these symbols, not all of them are animals, but most of them are. So like this, Scorpio is a scorpion. The Capricorn is actually, it says goat horned. And the Pisces obviously is a fish. So most of them are animals, but I think there's also one. This Sagittarius is the archer, but I think the Sagittarius is also viewed as the actual thing what a Sagittarius is, or like how they portray it as, where it's like a guy with an arch in his hand, or like a spear in his hand, and he's like half horse, half man, or something like that. Which obviously is Greek mythology. All these symbols of the 12 signs, the 12 zodiac signs, they're of Greek, they're of Greek origin, Greek mythology. That's what it is. All right, Greek mythology. And we're going to find out where these zodiac signs actually come from, because it's a mix of Greek mythology with Babylonian mythology as well. All right. So we're going to get into that as well. But Salakia, you had a point of precept, King?
Okay, you got it.
Okay, Khan, all praises. Right. So that's essentially where that comes from. All right. Now let's keep going into this. It says the name reflects the prominence of animals and mythological hybrids among the 12 signs. Okay. So where it says, let me get this. All right. Let's go back to this. All right. No, actually, I wanted the Wikipedia. So the usage, the zodiac was in use by the Roman era, based on concepts inherited by Hellenistic astronomy from Babylonian astronomy of the Chaldean period. You see that? So it was a mix of the Babylonian astronomy, as well as mythology, and Hellenistic astrology. We know that Hellenistic going back into what? Ancient Greek, right? Ancient Greeks. All right. It says which in turn derived from an earlier system of list of stars along the ecliptic. The construction of the zodiac is described in Ptolemy's comprehensive 2nd century AD work, the Almagest. And that's just a certain if you read about it, it's just a certain mathematical and astronomy a mathematical it contains mathematics and astronomy. All right, and it was written in Koine Greek. It was written by this guy named Claudius Ptolemy, all right, who was a student but also became a mathematician. All right, and he wrote about, really that's where they get the modern day how can you put it, astronomy from. All right, as the Greeks will put it, the modern day, astronomy. But nevertheless, I don't want to get too deep into that. The point is, the zodiac sign, it has its origins in Babylonian astronomy and Hellenistic astronomy as well. All right. So, in terms of Babylonian astronomy, we know that the Babylonians they used to stargaze. They would look at the sky, right, and they would make certain constellations. They would understand that there's certain constellations in the stars. The reason why our people are so stuck and heavy into the zodiac sign stuff is really because we were doing that back then. All right, our people were worshiping the host of heaven back then during the time of the Babylonians. So why wouldn't they be doing it now? Right? Let's get that. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 15. All right. We were in both of those captivities, both the Greek and the Babylonian captivity. That's how we learned, right, the works of the heathens, because we were in captivity to them. And because we also wanted to, intermingle with them. So we started to learn their works. That's why, what I'm saying, our people so stuck up into this. Right. But Con, let's get that real quick. Ecclesiastes 3:15.
Ecclesiastes 3:15, and it reads, "That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and Yahweh required that which is past."
Right. So the Most High requires that which is past. So you have the same thing going on now. You have back then in the ancient world, our people worshiping the host of heaven. And we're going to get those precepts as well. Right. It's nothing new under the heaven. That's what it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Right. So the zodiac signs, and I'm a Pisces, Aries, and you're just giving your strength onto this. You're checking the Instagram, right? Checking Instagram, the zodiac sign Instagram, right? All right, how am I going to feel today? How am I going to feel today? Let's see. Right. Hey, that's just madness, man. That's just it says, hey, Leo is supposed to be right. If you're a Leo, like you're, what I'm saying, like you're like a lion, like, hey, you're just fiery, like, what I'm saying? And you just making an excuse for your demons, for real. You're just making an excuse for your demons. Reason why I got this wrath spirit on me. Reason why you got the wrath spirit on you is because you're a Leo. Because it's out of my control, brother. It's out of my control. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, that's just madness. It's just idolatry, and that's madness. All right. That's essentially what it is. All right. But Con, so it's like you had a point of precept, King.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like the brother was saying, like people, logging on, got the horoscope alarm on their phone. It pops up every day, every morning. You check it,
Right.
and you check in to see how you gonna feel today, or what's my horoscopes. What is it saying today, right? Yeah, what's the message it's saying today from me? Man, that's folly, man. Because ultimately, where are they getting this type of where are they getting this information from? Well, how are they putting these? How are they putting this in a database and then shipping it out? I'm led to believe it's going to every. The brother got the Pisces up. Hey, it's going to everybody that's so-called a Pisces, man. I'm led to believe it, man. But I got two precepts real quick, right?
You got it.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3. In verse 18, it says, "Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seeming to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise." Right? Because there's a lot of fools that really believe this, man. They think it's wise to read their horoscope every single day, to let the horoscope lead them into whatever, man. They got the lucky numbers, and like it's so much folly, man. It says what? It says, "For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh, for there is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness." So they literally is taking their own and their own stuff and they craftiness, man. The Most High is confounding them in their own thing that they think is wise, right? Because all this is like this is foolishness. And like the brother broke down where these things come from. It's all based on what? Ultimately foolish wise men, they think they wise, man, and try to play God, right? This is this is going on to like the horoscopes, right? This is a Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. It reads, "Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not unto thy own understanding." Reading your horoscope every single day because it pops up, that's leaning onto your own understanding. That's not showing you how to maneuver in this world. That's not showing you, hey, I should do this today. I should do that today. No, the most I already told you what we should do according to the precepts, man. Hey, he said what? Let me get this preset real quick. Hey, classic, man. All right. Classic. Hey, he said, hey, right? Salakias, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." So that's the whole duty of how we're supposed to maneuver in this world. That's the first steps, man, making sure that we doing everything according to the Most High will, right? But keep going on. Proverbs 3 and verse 6, it says, "In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he should direct thy paths." Not the horoscope. He didn't say, "Hey, in thy horoscope, he gonna direct the path." No, he said, "In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he should direct thy path." That's the path that we should go on. Not, hey, my horoscope, they said this and that, man. I don't know how they group this thing up, honestly. You know, I don't know. I don't know how they group it up. And these people they are the so-called acolyte, man. So we got to get out of that getting led astray into what my horoscope say, man, and lean on to the Most High. Kyle, you got it, King.
Yep. Hey, that's right. And Shalom, guys. Shalom.
Shalom, King.
Shalom.
All praise. My brother in here. So, hey, real quick, Salakia. Yeah, did you have a point of precept?
I'm gonna pull this quick precept real quick. I don't know, brothers, pull Isaiah 8 and 20. Right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and 20, and it reads, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them." So, like the brothers are going into, you can't be following these things if they not coming. If it's not coming with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, thus said the Lord, there's no light in them. People think that they have light in them because they were born in March or they were born in December. They think they have light in them. They think that it's just madness. They think all type of things. They just make stuff up. It makes no sense. Oh, I don't deal with the brother Sirach because he was born on this month. Like that makes completely no sense. Like they always go into it all the time. Like just imagine being 45 years old and you're blaming your actions on a damn sign that doesn't even exist. Oh, yeah. Y'all know me. I'm a Aries. This is how I get. Like, but you're a 45-year-old man. So brothers got it.
Yeah, con. And that'd be crazy, man. That'd be crazy. I had the brother saying, man, both brothers, we can't be giving power onto the stars and the moon and position and you know what I'm saying when you were born. And I know a lot of Jakes, like older Jakes, they might be doing that, but nowadays Jake already knows that that's just BS, man. He kind of just get into it to get to Eve, right? That's we see that. You know what I'm saying? Modern Jay, he kind of like, I'm not even for real really dealing with it. But because look, every post you see about the Pisces and the Sagittarius and the Leo and the whatever, the Aries, it's really all just it's really just all Eve on it, right? Look at it's Eve. It's just Eve on the comments for real. You see that? It's really just Eve on the comments, man. You know, it says calmest female ever, but watch how you speak to me because I'm a Pisces. So because I'm a Pisces, you know what I'm saying, I'm not calm at all. I'm just out there, right? So like as the brothers are saying, you can't just blame, right? You know what I'm saying, your actions. That's why I'm saying you can't just give excuse to your demons. Because you think things you got to work on, you're just like, hey, I can't work on it because that's just how I am, right? Imagine telling the Lord, hey Lord, you know, I can't work on my spirit because that's just how I am, right? Imagine telling the Lord that. Imagine telling the Lord that, hey Lord, you know, I know I got the wrath spirit. I know I'm not calm at all. I know I can't walk in the fruits of the spirit, but you know, that's just how I am. So, right. So, I mean, that's just madness. But, you know, again, you know, we're going to go through the precepts. We're going to show how, you know, it's really idolatry to, you know, going after these zodiac signs, man. Right. And little do you know, you don't even know, right? Our people don't even know the origin of it. You know what I'm saying? Where does it come from? Why are you doing it? Right? Our people just want to follow, you know, they're like sheep. You know, our people is likened unto sheep. So they're just going to follow the multitude, right? But let's go to real quick because I also wanted to show the fact that the zodiac signs, since they're dealt with the well, how can I say this? They're based off of the constellations of the sky. So the reason why they say Aries is from March 21st to April 19th, or like, you know, Tartarus is from uh April 20th to May 20th. Like the reason why they're from different months and different seasons of the year is because of the constellations. There are certain stars in the sky that actually move, right? There's actually certain stars in the sky that actually move. And so because of their movements, it makes certain images in the sky. So we know that literally all ancient civilizations looked up into the sky and wondered about, you know, they gave their own philosophy and thought about what those stars could mean. You know what I'm saying? They started to worship it. They started to make altars onto it, make sacrifice onto it. They started to name certain stars, certain constellations. That's why you got, you know, even in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? You have Orion. You have and we're about to get into it as well, the different constellations actually named in the Bible, you know? So that's why, hey, that's just how people did things. They started to look up into the sky, get, you know, started to make telescopes and really study the, you know, astrology. Astrology is very ancient. It's nothing new. Astrology is very ancient. But what is relatively new is the Greek concept of looking up at the stars, not only worshiping it, but giving it even more power, saying that the stars and the constellations are a reflection of who we are, right? The ancient Babylonians didn't do that, right? Let's look up real quick, Salakia. I'm gonna look up real quick the ancient Babylonian gods, right? The ancient Babylonian gods of the spirit, real quick, Salakia. Right, let's get this real quick and pull it back up. See, the ancient Babylonians, they didn't do that though. Right, let's get this. So, for example, Marduk. Marduk is one of the chief ancient Babylonian gods. It says that he's a god of creation, water, agriculture, justice, medicine, and magic. But he's equivalent, right, to a certain star. It says what? His planet is Jupiter. So they saw the so-called planet Jupiter in the sky, and they said, hey, that's Marduk. So they started to name, for example, I got it written down here. Marduk is equal to Jupiter. Ishtar is Venus, right? Nitur is Saturn. Nabu is Mercury. Nergal is Mars. So their ancient Babylonian gods, when they saw these certain stars, they would say, hey, yeah, that's our god right there. So it's the same thing. All right, it's the same thing of how, you know, the Romans did it, the ancient Greeks did it, and even in modern day right now, we still hold these certain names of these certain so-called planets: Jupiter, Mars, Venus, you know, Mercury. These names are literal ancient Roman deities. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's still here, and they teach it. You know what I'm saying? In colleges in America, literally took a physics class and it's still the same names. They didn't change it, right? It just shows you how idolatrous this world is. But nevertheless, that's not how the ancient Babylonians did it. The ancient Greeks, they looked at the constellations and the stars, and they say, look, you know, based off of that, we can determine, you know, who we are. You know what I'm saying? And our personalities, how we should act. And they literally, I mean, you're literally giving, you know what I'm saying, all power onto these stars and constellations. So let's go real quick to let's pull real quick Job chapter 31. Let's get Job 31. And Job actually talks about this. So let's go to Job 31 and verse number 26. Verse 26. Because we're going to see the actual purpose of you know, the stars, should they be worshipped or not. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to Job 31 and 26 to the spirit.
This is Job chapter 31, verse 26. And it reads, I beheld the sun when it shineth, or the moon walketh in brightness. And my heart hath been secretly enticed, or my mouth hath kissed my hand. This also were an iniquity to be punished by the judge, for I should have denied the God that is above.
Right. So by you, Salaki. So by you looking up at the sun, by you looking up at the moon and looking up at it and getting enticed, and start worshiping the constellations, that's an iniquity to be punished by the Most High. You're denying the Most High. Right? Let's go to the book of Genesis real quick, because let's get the proper purpose of the stars. Why did the Most High make the stars? Did he make them to be worshipped or what? So let's go to Genesis 1 and 14.
This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And it reads, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night, and the light, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights. The greater light.
Lucky. I just want to make a point on that real quick. So Genesis 1 to 14, as the brother just read. Therefore, lights in the heaven to divide the day from the night. Therefore, signs, seasons for days and years. Not zodiac signs. Not for zodiac signs, but for signs in terms of what? Right? You have the what? The blood moon. Blood moons means that what? Judgment is coming. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, let's go to First Chronicles. Just want to knock out these precepts real quick. First Chronicles chapter 12 and verse 32. Therefore, signs and for seasons. You literally measure out what season you're in, what day it is, right? Are we in summer? Are we in fall? Are we in winter? You know, what season are we in? You look at what? Not only the trees and the environment that you're in, but you also look up at the sky. Right? So let's go to, that's why it says this in First Chronicles 12 and 32. Let's get that real.
That's First Chronicles 12 and 32. And of the children of Israel, so like and the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and their brethren were of their commandment.
Yeah, so Issachar, they were men that had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do. Understanding of the times. If you're a person that has understanding of the times, it's not because you just keep 5 watches on. You know what I'm saying? You got one watch was the Western time, Central time, you got Eastern time. You know what I'm saying? That's not what that's talking about. It's not because they just knew how to make a clock or something. Issachar knew, because back then you didn't have clocks for real. You didn't have watches and Apple Watch. You didn't have Apple Watch. You know what I'm saying? The children of Issachar, they knew how to determine the times is because they looked up at the stars. They looked up at the stars, the sun, the moon. They knew how to count the seasons. So by them doing that, by having understanding of the times, you also had to have understanding of, astrology. You had to know how to look up at the stars and the moon, and the constellations is only in this particular month. So this and the third. So they knew how to do that. You know what I'm saying? They knew how to do that. So our people knew how to read these certain constellations. They knew about them, you know. But the righteous of them, they didn't worship them. They just used them, right, to determine what season they're in. But like your brothers got it.
Yeah, God. Yeah, Con. Because like the brother was saying, it's when they discern the time, but that you got to know what that's going into through the spirit. I'm gonna get a quick precept real quick on that. Right. This is a Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. He said, he answered me then and said, measure now the time diligently in itself. And he said, measure the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. So it's all going to what you can see, right? It's what the Most High has been telling us. Like the brother we was going into these certain things in the sky, like the moon, the sun, and the stars. They have their positions and they have their uh description on what signs that they show out, right? Let me get Sirach chapter 43 in verse 5, right? It says, great is the Lord that made it. So the Lord made this, right? He made the stars and the sun and the moon, right? So we are worshiping the stars like the brother was going to, but the Most High made it. He literally crafted the sun out and all these different things for his purpose, right? It says he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world, just like the brother was going to. The blood moon is a sign of what? Destruction, right? From the moon is the sign of the feast and a light that decreases in her perfection. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully and changing, being the instrument of armies above, shining the firmament of heaven. Right? Let me jump down real quick. Right? Let me get this preset. It says, at the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in order and never faint in their watches. Hey, so they gonna stand in their order and they not gonna faint in their watches. They not gonna do anything differently than what the Most High already ordained them to do. So that's them being in a proper um they proper, I should say, perfection in a sense, right? So people worshiping something that's not deemed to be worship, right? But you got it, King.
Brothers got it.
Con. Yeah, hey, exactly, man. Exactly. All praise to the Most High, you know. And so let's get into real quick, without further ado, let's touch on the certain constellations that's found in the Bible. Because what I want to do in this video is we're destroying the zodiac signs. We're showing you how it's idolatry. We're looking up into the sky. We're really just doing the same things that our ancient forefathers were doing, right? So, and also before we get into that, let's just show them real quick that our forefathers were worshiping the host of heaven, right? Give me real quick 2 Kings 17, I believe I wanted. 2 Kings 17. And I believe I wanted 36, if I'm not mistaken. All right. It was a very common 2 Kings. Hold on, Salaki. Let me look at this real quick. Hold on. Let me look at my notes. 2 Kings, Salaki, 2 Kings 17. 17 and 16. 17 and 16.
Okay.
All right. All right, let's pull that up real quick because our people was doing this way back then. That's why we went to captivity. Right. Actually, let's start verse 15 through the spirit. Right.
It's second Kings chapter 17 and verse 15. And it reads, and they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like them. And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove and worshipped all the hosts of heaven and served Baal.
Khan, you see that? So it says they left all the commandments of the Lord their God, made molten images, 2 calves. And that sounds a lot like what? Exodus, right? They made another golden calf, man, right? So they had to make they had to make another one, 2 calves, right? Made a grove and worship all the hosts of heaven and serve Baal, right? So they worship all the hosts of heaven. The host of heaven is going into, right, the stars, the sun, the moon. You know, it depends on what context. The host of heaven doesn't always mean the stars and the moon and et cetera, et cetera. But in this context, that's what it's talking about, right? So our people worship all the hosts of heaven. That's why we went to captivity. That's why we're here right now. It's because we want to worship the host of heaven, right? As our people continue to do that. And so everything is just modernized now. Even in verse 17, let's read that real quick in verse 17 through the Spirit.
Verse 17. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and use divination, enchantments, and sold themselves to the evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger.
Right. So it says they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire and use divination and enchantments. So you have our women doing that now too, right? They will get an abortion. That's the equivalent of letting your son and your daughter pass through the fire. In Leviticus 20 and verse 1 on down, it specifically states that you cannot do that, right? But our people are still doing it, still getting abortions, right? Not caring about the child. You know what I'm saying? There was actually a video I seen. It was an IUIC brother, IUIC camp that was talking to it was like Eve kind of walking off mad. And there was like, hey, if you care so much about my child, why don't you just have him? Why don't you just have her then? Right. And then, hey, the brother's like, so you don't even want your child. She doesn't even want her child for real. You know? So sometimes our people, just off for real, making their son and their daughter to pass through the fire. All right. Using divination and enchantments, the modern day divination and enchantments could be really, you know how our people get down, man. You know, a lot of different things could be that modern day chakra with the with the stones. That's modern day divination and enchantment. You know, hey, even low key looking online and seeing what spirit you should be in today because of your certain sign. That's a low level of divination enchantments because you're enchanting yourself, right? Giving power onto this thing, this God. You know what I'm saying? These stars of heaven, and you're giving power onto it, and you're determining your life based off of it. That's low key a divination and enchantment right there. You know, so our people was doing the same thing that they was doing back then. Let's get real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 9. Deuteronomy 4 and verse 19, and also let's go to the book of after that one, Deuteronomy 17. Right. So let's go to Deuteronomy 4 and 19 for the Spirit.
You want 4 and what? Salaki.
Deuteronomy 4 and 19.
This is Deuteronomy 4 and 19. It says, and lest thou lift up thine eyes and unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven.
Yeah, so the Lord is like, look, I gave that onto these nations. I gave the moon and the stars and the hosts of heaven and Marduk, for example. You know what I'm saying? I gave all that onto these heathen. I didn't give it to you, right? The Lord said, look, which the Lord thy God had divided unto all nations under the whole heaven, right? If they worship that, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's the Most High is not looking at a heathen being like, why are you not worshiping me? The Lord said plenty of times in the whole Bible, I'm the God of Israel. I don't care about what these other nations are really doing for real. You know what I'm saying? When it concerns his people, then he cares. But other than that, he doesn't care that a Moabite is serving Chemosh, which was the ancient god of the Moabites. He doesn't really care about that. He cares if his people is doing it. He doesn't care about these other nations worshiping the sun or the moon. Because he's like, I divided that onto all these other nations under the whole heaven. You know? Not us, though. Not Israelites. Not so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Right? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 17 real quick.
Deuteronomy 17.
I mean, you know, it's the law. So let's go to Deuteronomy 17, and we start verse 2 for the context.
This is Deuteronomy 17 and 2, and it reads, "If there be found among you within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, man or woman, that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God, in transgression his covenant, and have gone and served other gods, and worshipped them, either the sun or moon or any of the hosts of heaven, which I have commanded, and it be told thee that, and thou hast heard of it, and required diligently, and hold it be true, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel.
Right. What do you have to do?
Then shalt thou bring forth that man or woman which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even the man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die.
Nah, you should encourage it. Thou shalt encourage it.
Thou shalt stone them with stones till they die.
Hey, man, that's a hefty judgment right there. Lord said, look, if you hear somebody saying, hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's go worship the host of heaven. Let's go serve other gods. Let's go worship the sun, the moon, right? Let's go, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what's your sign? If you hear anybody say, hey, what's your sign? You know what I'm saying? If you say, hey, you know, I'm an Aries. That's how I get down. If you hear that, and it's if you inquire diligently, and it be true that such an abomination is wrought in Israel, the Lord said in the law that you have to bring forth that man or that woman that have committed a wicked abomination. You got to stone them with stones that they die. You know, so that's a hefty judgment. You know, getting stoned to death because you want to worship the host of heaven. So our people have to understand, you know, that it's not nothing is just, oh, that's just a light thing onto the most side, like, you know, that I'm an Aries or that I'm a Scorpio, whatever. That's idolatry, right? And the Most High hates idolatry. The Most High hates all abomination. That's what the scriptures say, right? But it's like your brothers got it if they had a point of precept.
God, I got a couple precepts to the spirit, because a lot of people, be judging these so-called zodiac signs based off, their birthdays, right? Through the spirit. But let's get the precept of what the Most High said about it, right? It says, this is Jeremiah 20 and 14. It says, "Cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not that day wherein my mother bare me be blessed." Hey, nobody cared about the time or the date when they was born, man. We just lived our life, and it served the Most High, and people like to make a whole story around how they was born. Hey, I was born this time. Hey, I'm this, and this and that, man. Right? And that's off to the spirit, right? Let me get this other precept. And this is Jeremiah, chapter what 10 and verse. I'm gonna start at 2, right? Classic. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven." So you being dismayed at the signs of heaven, and making all these folly zodiac signs and putting them unto your likeness, man. Because regardless of what anybody say, not every person is the same, man. Everybody's different. Nobody. It doesn't matter when you was born. And the Most High said, "Don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven." Right? He says, "For the heathen are dismayed at them." And like the brother was going to, that's their work. They worship the stars. They worship the moon, the sun. That's the things they're into. And the Most High says, "Stay away from those type of things. Then you will be led into stray, and now you worshiping their gods, going off." They serving their gods when the Most High, and that's the let me get that precept, right? And that's the first commandment of the Most High, right? And this is Exodus chapter 20 and verse 4. Verse 3. It says, "Thou shalt not, thou shalt have no other gods before me." Hey, the Most High he said don't have no other gods before him, right? He says, "Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above." Hey, everybody's like the brother was going to all them signs and symbols. Hey, the centaur shooting the arrow. Hey, the Pisces, the little fish, the little turquoise fish, and things like that. Hey, people just making anything up, man. It says, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. And that's what everybody's doing. They literally making signs and graven images out of all these different things when the Most High said not to do that. And ultimately, like the brothers went to the history of you serving their gods. You serving the white man God, right? Let me get one last precept of the spirit, right? This is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 26, and it reads, "Ye shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantment or nor observe times." And the Most High said, don't use enchantment, man. Looking at that horoscope, hey, that's a form of enchantment. Hey, seeing what what a tourist gonna do today, man. What a tourist gonna do today. Hey, like the palm readers and all them different things. That's using enchantments. And it says what? Nor observe times. Now you looking at the stars and like, hey, that's the time of the Leos, man. The big Leo is out, man. Right? And that's all off, right? And let me get verse 31. It says, regard not them that have familiar spirits. So everybody that's going around, hey, in that same spirit, hey, they got familiar spirits. Neither seek after wizard to be defiled by them. I am the Lord Yahweh. Hey, so all these people that's into them certain things, they wizards, and warlocks and witches, man. They like to dip and dabble and have that what's her name? Erica Badu spirit, man. Hey, have them enchantments, man, and glorify being a witch, man. And glorify being a harlot, man. Kanye, you got it, King.
I want to touch on the brothers bringing out even about going back into the birthdays, because that's what it all comes down to, the month, and then you have a certain day of when it comes into that month, when it comes into that day, right? This is the book of Genesis chapter 40 verse 20, and it reads, "And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants." Right? Pharaoh was of the other nations, right? Pharaoh celebrating his birthday. When is the account of Jacob celebrating his birthday and all his sons bringing gifts to him on the day he was born? Or when was the account of Jacob bringing his sons presents on their birthdays? He telling Judah, like, Judah, you're 19 years old now, and them doing a big celebration and having a feast. And it says that and what does it say that? And it was a beautiful thing in the sight of the Lord. You don't have those accounts because let me get the scripture real quick, because also too, people get off on that. They get off on around that time of the season and all these things, and it even brings them comfort. Like the brother said, they check in the morning, the zodiac signs. It says how their day is going to go today, or it says how their week is going to go today, or it says what's going to happen to them, and it brings them comfort. It brings them comfort, and they feel good about it. But we don't need those things, right? This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 12 and verse 9, and it reads, "Therefore we also, albeit we need none of these things, for that we have the holy books of Scripture in our hands to comfort us." So this is what brings us comfort. Waking up, praying to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, waking up, reading the scriptures. This is what brings us comfort. The more brothers read, the more faith brothers have, right? The more brothers read, the more wisdom you have, right? Real quick, let me get this precept too. Going into that, this book of Ecclesiastes, right? This Solomon, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 17. And it says, "And I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit." Because sometimes you gotta come in, you gotta look into this thing, right? What we just brought out in Isaiah 8 and 20. You gotta look into this thing. Is this of the Most High? Now you kind of go to the scripts, you find out that you find out that this is a lie. You reading the scripts, and then that's why people get cut. They get cut because you see what's going on over there, and you gotta know what's going on. just like when we go into different, you know, we might deal with people that believe in the Quran. Well, if you don't go into the Quran and see if that's of God, you're not gonna know if that's of God or not. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we have going into those things to find out that that's a religion. That's not of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You have to go into these things. You have some people like, oh, I don't want to know about that. Hey, you're not gonna know what's going on if you don't go in there and find out what's going on. So you kind of go like the brothers are doing. Brothers are pulling this thing up, finding out where these things come from, showing that this is not of the Most High God. But again, we need none of these things. For we have the Holy Scriptures to comfort us. We have the angels to comfort us. We have each other to comfort us. The Lord said, "Gather together, O nation not desired." He never said anything about looking up to heaven and finding out who you are. It's almost like the damn Lion King. When Lion King, when he looked up at the stars, and the damn stars was damn talking to him. Telling him what he must do. But brothers got it.
Damn. Yeah, man. Hey, it's just madness. It's just madness, man. And like how the brother saying too. It's why I learned first coming into the truth. Cause when I came to the truth, I was like, oh shoot, wait, so zodiac signs, that's off, right? I didn't know before. I didn't know it was off. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, yeah, I know my sign, but I wasn't really deep into it. But like it's always going to be some truth to it, right? It's going to be some little truth to it, and that's why people still hold to it the way that they do. It's because, oh shoot, like that actually resembles me, like what they saying. The thing is, the reason why there's certain truth, I mean, guess what? Satan, Satan, it's not like Satan is dumb, right? Satan is not dumb, right? You have prophets on the right hand side, you got prophets on the left hand side, right? So what that means is, let's go also right to the book of First Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 19. Even though Satan, he knows certain things, and Satan, he has wisdom too. It's not like Satan walking around here dumb, right? But he'll deceive you with that little wisdom, make you think that, oh yeah, that's the truth. He's only going to tell you to have truth, though. That's the thing. He's only going to tell you to have truth, right? For example, Christianity, right? Christianity, they say you got to believe in Christ. Hey, brothers agree to that, but all the other stuff is just wrong. Trinity, right? You got the damn this and the third. So they mix the truth with lies. That's what Satan does. Mix the truth with lies. So it make you believe that what? Oh shoot, this must be the truth because one aspect of it might be true. One aspect, but it doesn't mean anything though. That don't mean that the whole truth. That doesn't mean that it's of the Most High. Because as the brothers are saying, you have to really dig deep. You have to go into the history. Does it come from does it come from, the Bible? Is it in the Bible? Right? Where did the Most High talk about it? If it comes from ancient Babylonian and ancient Greek, mythology, we're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with Hercules. We're not dealing with
Zeus.
So, yeah, oh yeah, Zeus. Not dealing with Zeus. Right? Who the heck is that, man? Right? Right? So even if it may have a half truth, don't pursue it. Right? Let's go to First Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19.
It's like I'm gonna make a point real quick. They say that in the world the best lies got a little truth to it.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's literally a saying in the world, man.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. There you go. You have it right there. All right. Yeah, let's get First Corinthians 3 and 19. I also want to get Second Corinthians as well, though. All right.
First Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19, and it reads, "For the wisdom of the world is foolishness with Yahweh. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness."
Right. So the Lord said that the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. See, the wisdom of this world, it may have some truth to it, man. Just like these divinations, like how you have seers on the left hand side, they can look into the future too. But that power that they're getting that from is not from the Most High. They're getting it from Satan, right? Because he's known as the God of this world. So let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse let's see, 4, right? 2 Corinthians 4 and 4. Right.
This is Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4. It says, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them.
Yeah, so the God of this world is not talking about the Most High in this context. It's talking about Satan, right? He's also known as the prince of this world, referring to Yahweh said that the prince of the world must be cast out. So the prince of this world and the God of this world is talking about Satan. So if the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and he has the fatness of this earth, he's going to know certain things. Satan, he knows everything about you. So if he kind of puts that out, you know what I'm saying, he kind of disguises as a Gemini, Aries, this and the third. If you know certain things about you, you're going to believe it. You're going to be so stuck up on it because, no, that's actually how I am. So, it's just madness. So like it was in there. Okay, right? It's just madness. And Salaki, one more precept on that. Let me get James chapter 3 and verse number 14, right? So James 3 and 14. Oh, damn. Okay, come. All
right. This is James chapter 3, verse 14, and it reads, but if ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. The wisdom descended.
Oh no, Salaki. Even in Salaki, I'm gonna read verse 13 as well. It says, who is a wise man endowed with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness and wisdom. How do you know if a man is endowed with the wisdom of the Most High? Right, with wisdom, spiritual wisdom, knowledge, understanding. He's going to have a good conversation. Not really talking about his speech in this case. It's talking about, when you go into that word, your conduct. So he has a good conduct. He has his fringes on, right? He's not, what I'm saying, you can't catch him at a club on Friday night. He's not there. He has a good conduct, right? He knows how to deal decently in order. That's a man with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He's keeping the commandments. His works is righteous. He's meek. You got wisdom. But in verse 14, it says, if you have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, and glory not and lie not against the truth, because a lot of times these people that be sticking to these horoscopes and this and the third, a lot of times it'd be like weird stuff like, all right, Gemini, for example, watch this. Yeah. It'll be a lot of stuff like this. As a Gemini, I avoid, SHIT because I'm afraid of me, not you. Temper go from 0 to prison real fast. You got 13,000 people that liked it. 13,000. That's a lot of people, man. And you got Eve saying for real, right? Exactly. Right. Here you have it. Facts.
Hey, that's a lie, man. I'm gonna come out and say that's a lie because I'll be a so-called Gemini in the world, man. That's a lie, man. It's a damn lie.
All right. Yep. There you go. All right. And so like how the brother's been saying, man, you can't just say, oh yeah, because I'm a Gemini, that's why I got this wrathful spirit on me. You know what I'm saying? That's folly. That's folly, man. And Salaki, let's go back to that. Right? You have bitter envy and strife in your heart. Right? But let's keep going in verse 15.
15. It says, this wisdom descended not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish.
Wait, what is horoscopes?
Sensually devilish.
Wait, what is I'm a Gemini?
A sensual, devilish.
Yeah, you see that? Let's keep going to verse 16.
Well, where envyings, so like an envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work.
Yeah, you see that? And we know that in this proper context is really talking about, what I'm saying, your conduct and this and the third. But you can still apply these precepts to this, because this is wisdom right here, right? It's wisdom, it's knowledge, it's it's divination, for example, because wisdom goes into what? Wisdom and knowledge going into what? Not on the right hand side, but on the left hand side. It deals with astrology, the constellations. All this is wisdom, right? It's mathematics and this and the third. So it's wisdom, but it doesn't ascend from the Most High. It ascends from what? As a brother just read, earthly, it's sensual, and it's devilish. All right. So you have to be careful, brothers. Hey, Israel, you got to be careful with this, man. All right. Don't deal with it, because it just literally puts a spirit on you. You constantly reading these horoscopes, and you're literally forming yourself according to it. Yeah, I'm a Leo, so this is how I'm gonna act, because it say this, and it must be true. That's how I'm gonna act. That's how I'm gonna conduct myself. Not according to the Bible, right? But according to this, it's madness, because like brother got it.
Nah,
Yeah.
I know God has something to say through Spirit.
Oh yeah, Khan. It's crazy because I seen this video. On Instagram, and it was a bunch of Jakes and Eves in the room. They were doing like some type of podcast or something, and the Jake asked the Eve. She was like, "Yeah, I feel like you're this." She said a zodiac sign, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's how you feel." She was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh well, I'm not. I'm this." And it's like he kind of confounded her. And was like, "Yeah, that's not real." Because she was going along with it. She was like, "Yeah, I thought so." He was like, "Oh, that's crazy," and then he kind of switched it up on her. But I was gonna say, did brothers finish that 1 Corinthians 3:18? Did brothers get that? Because I think you caught it. I don't know if brothers got it
though. We read only verse 19.
Okay, Con. Brothers got it.
Okay, Con. Sorry, you had some?
Con, yeah, I had 2 precepts, but
okay,
I lost the second one, but I got the first one.
okay.
Okay, so like I remember. So like, yeah. Let me get this precept real quick. All right. This is Proverbs. I got 2 precepts. This is Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 26. It reads, "The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth him." This constellation and this love of astrology and zodiac signs, it's seducing everybody, man. Hey, just like the brother said, man. Hey, I see that constantly a lot, man. Hey, Jake be deceiving women because of that, man. Hey, and then switch it up on them quick, man. Like, hey, see, that's how you know it's fake, man. That's how you know it's fake. But the women is seduced into that, because going on with that zodiac sign, it brings along all that other nature of like the chakras and the so-called auras and the third eye. It's like the brother saying. That's why you gotta be careful with that, because now you down into all those different spirits. Now you're thinking about all those different uh so-called higher power things, and third, I'm woke and all that. Now you super so seduced by a just zodiac signs. Now that woman empowerment movement come, and now the woman is God. That all it comes in accounts for. That's why women love that type of stuff, man. A woman is God because my zodiac sign said this. Now is I remember I remember when Zodiac sign was just plain, but now you got the rising. Now you the lower. Like when did that happen? Like now they put it extras on it, through the spirit. It's to show like it's always a just making things up, man. Just plain simple. They just making things up just to fit their likeness, man. Because that, like I said, that all goes into that whole capsule of a woman is God. It's a plethora. That whole thing it plays in that same hand. That's why a lot of women dabbles in that spirit, right? This is Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 11, right? This is Proverbs 17 and 11. It says, "An evil man seeketh only rebellion," because now you rebellious, over that the Most High said not to deal with that. Now you super rebellious, and knowing this don't have nothing to do with the scriptures. Just like the brother was, yes, I was going to, hey, I'm a Christian, but I'm a Taurus. Hey, or hey, I'm a Muslim, but hey, I'm a Gemini. Like that don't even mix. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all believe in God, but this and this, like they mixing too much, right? It says, an evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore, a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. That's what your horoscope say. Hey, that's a cruel messenger, man. It's not saying, hey, what thus said the Lord, man. Because last time I checked, hey, according to Psalms 119, hey, the lamp on that life, man, it's gonna show you that way, roughly paraphrasing, and it's gonna show you the path of life, not that horoscope, right? Not let me get down, kind of bamboozled it through the spirit, right? This is a Psalms 119 in verse 105. It says, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and thy life unto my path," man. Not that horoscope, man. Not a the moon. I mean, or the star or the stars, right? So it's like it goes all hand in hand, man. That's why people worship the sun, the moon, and the stars, because it's folly, man. It's all in that same cusp of seeking a cruel messenger, right? How you got it, King?
Yeah, no, Cons, like it. I just had a quick point on that too, like how the brother's been saying. A lot of times, and like I said, it's really Eve that's doing it. I barely see Jake posting his, Gemini. I don't know if brother's seen it, but I hardly see Jake posting that stuff. It's really Eve, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like Jake, he may do it, right? He may do it, but not as much as Eve, for real. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
I'm pointing that Jake trim his waist for love, man, because Jake used
Yeah,
that
exactly.
try to manipulate the woman, man. They used that, like, you ever play this card on me. That's how you get the woman. Like, I'm gonna get her like this, But how you got it, King?
Con, I was gonna say too. Yeah. So like when we because in the world it gets so crazy because you might be at the plantation, you might be wherever, and the first thing someone says to you, you don't even know this person, and they're like, "Oh, what's your name?" Right after that, they say, "What's your zodiac sign?" Right after, and this is like, damn, it's like, we're not, we're not asking people when we meet brothers and sisters. We're not asking brothers and sisters, what's your zodiac sign? If anything, we're asking, hey, what tribe you come from? We're asking what tribe you come from. We're not asking what's your zodiac sign. We're asking what tribe you come from. You got 12 zodiac signs, but hey, you got 12 tribes, But I'm at, we might meet a brother, ask a brother what's his name, Shalom King, ask a brother, what's his name. He might tell you his name, his Hebrew name, and then y'all might start talking about the tribes, might start talking about the tribes. Brother might say, "Oh, I'm Judah." The other brother might say, "Yeah, I'm from the tribe of Reuben." We're asking about our forefathers, our tribes. We're asking about godly things, not vain things. I was gonna say, did brothers bring out Romans chapter 1?
Allah. But Salaki, let me just make my point, and then you got it.
Brothers got it.
Salaki. Yeah, before the brother gets that precept, I just wanted to say, as the brothers are saying, hey, a lot of our people, they base their personality and this and the third and all this, it was really their personality, how they act based off of the zodiac signs. We know that the zodiac signs, they're based off the sun and the stars. The thing is, even according to Greek, mythology, they didn't just base their personality just off of one of the signs, the zodiac signs. You have other signs as well, right? I didn't even know that. You had other signs. You had the moon zodiac. You had the moon signs. You had the Venus signs. You had it said the north and the south node signs. So what about all these other signs, right? Well, how come even just focus on, or our people just focus on the zodiac sign? That's just one out of all these other signs, In the moon sign, if you didn't know what the moon sign is it tends to describe your emotional life, feelings, desires, and all the stuff going on below the surface that might be apparent even to you, right? the moon sign is perhaps your clearest indicator as to the workings of the inner world. Where is that in the Bible, man? Where is that in the Bible? Where is your moon sign? Right? What is thy moon sign? You know, let me know your tribe, right? Your nation, your kindred, and your moon sign. Hey, that's madness, right? But it's like your brother got it, man.
They actually do that though.
Oh, see that? I
That's
didn't
what I
even
was
know that.
saying. Like, remember, I was like, I didn't know that was actually a thing. Like, I thought they was just making things up. But hey,
Yeah.
you just schooled me or something. They actually say, hey, what's your what they say? Like, dang, I know they said something like, I think they say like moon rising or something like sun rising, it's folly. Like, I'm like, damn.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
just something they
Yeah.
they make up. But hey, as you say, hey, you taught me something through the spirit, man. Actually.
Hey,
That's
yeah, I didn't.
madness.
Like I said, I didn't even know that either, King. But
That's madness.
that's madness.
Hey,
Madness.
so next time somebody ask a brother, what's your sign? Hey, you say I'm an Israelite. You know,
Right.
you say I'm an Israelite.
They're gonna say, which one is that? Right? Which one is
Right,
that?
right.
Lion
Then
of Judah.
you kind of put them all.
The Lion of Judah.
The
Elijah
line.
Judah.
And then
You,
hey, you a Leo,
yeah, you a
as they
Leo.
gonna say, you a Leo. That's
They
crazy.
like, no, you mean Leo, right? No.
Right, and it's crazy too. Y'all, the brothers bring up the moon because when it's a full moon and something bad might happen. They'd be like, oh yeah, it was a full moon last night. That's why that happened. You know, or they might say, oh, when it's a full moon, the freaks come out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yep. Yep.
Madness.
Madness. Yep. But so like, brother, yeah, you got your preset, King.
Kind of brothers could rebuttal as I go through it. As I go through it, brothers could too. Brothers could even pull the signs up or whatever. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 22, and it reads, "Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools." Because a lot of people think they're wise. A lot of people even study it. They study the zodiac signs, and you might go to one of the zodiac signs. You might look it up on the internet or something, and then it has a whole paragraph about the zodiac sign. It's like a whole book or something. And then you go to the next page, and it's just you just reading all this stuff, and they're kind of studying it, and they're like, that does sound like me, you know. And they think that they're wise, they think that they have some form of knowledge of the Most High God, right? Reading on, it says, and change the glory of the uncorruptible God into a image made like to corruptible man, and to birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things. And that's what you see right there that the brother just pulled up. You got the beast, you got the scorpion, you got the beast. We can't make this up. We can't make this up. This is it. This is in the Bible. Right? Let me read that again. And change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things. Right? But on the brother has something on that. All right, want me to keep going?
Well, I mean, as you were saying, hey, that sounds like a scorpion, the Scorpio, man, the creeping things, But so like that's all I really had on that.
Kind of reading on, it says, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Hey, brothers got it.
Yeah, kind of even like they got all type of animals they use. Like don't they got a ram? I just seen a crab. It looked like I seen a crab. Hey, they
Yep.
use all type of folly, man.
Four-footed beast and creeping things.
Forks for the bee creeper things. Hey, they
Yeah.
even have cause earlier I had one with the centaur. He was the man with the half man half horse, man. That's
Yep.
a corruptible man in this thing. Ain't no such thing as a centaur, man. A man that's walking around with a horse bottle, you know.
Yeah.
But it's madness through the spirit. God.
Yep. Yeah, Tom. Yeah, the centaur. Where's that at? All right, brother gonna say the book of Enoch, right? Or the book of Jasher. Right? But hey, that's not in the Bible. All right. Not talking about book of Enoch. All right. You know, but this is not in the Bible, the centaur. That's obviously Greek mythology, when you go into it, it's Greek mythology. Where is that? Where's the account where the Mosai said, he made the beast of the earth and also the centaur, right? It's just madness. And First Corinthians 15 also cut that as well. There's no intermingling with the flesh, right? With different type of flesh, you know. But we don't have to get into that. It's just mythology anyway, you know. But and also tell me why, whenever you look up these signs, right, it's always some like negative thing, right? It's always like demons for real, right? Uh like look, a real Gemini is afraid of being broke, not alone. So he's just chasing after the money, you know. That's what I'm a Gemini, I'm just chasing after the money, Yeah, come on, right? Hey, Gemini, should I do it? Hey, the family said no, friends say no, everyone said no, the universe said no. And then me, hey, F it, I'm just gonna do it. So hey, that's the avoiding counsel spirit.
Really,
Hey,
man.
Gemini. Oh, it's like you said, what?
I said that's that rebellious spirit and that pride spirit.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, con
That's
rebellious
crazy.
and pride spirit. It's also like, yeah, con. That's crazy. Hey, Jake always and Eve always wants to hold on to something that or Israel always wants to do that. Something to rep, something to kind of boast in. Like identity. The reason why our people was always stuck up into it because we don't have any identity for it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have an identity. So any type of identity that we kind of see, we try to hold on to it. That's why people is into Islam, Christianity. That's why people are into they want to call themselves Americans or Africans, want to cleave onto Africa so much, onto him, you know? Yeah, our people want to cleave onto anything for real, except for the Most High. Oh yeah, I'm a Gemini, I'm a Scorpio, you know what I'm saying? You just want to cleave onto it, and you want to just, like, hey, all the other signs is trash. I'm a Gemini. Gemini is the best sign. You always want to cleave onto certain things except for the Most High. That's our problem with our people, And why is there always some lust? There's always lust in it as well, right? Where is this at? Watch this. Where is this? A real, hey, brothers can read that for themselves. A freak. Real Aries is a freak. That's madness. That's madness. Why is there always some lust in it, right? And wrath. Right?
Lust and wrath.
Lust and wrath is always the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just madness. And you see how all these posts is just catered to women, right? What man is kind of looking at this for real? You know what I'm saying? What man is looking at this? Right? It's always catered towards women for real. And yeah, you got it, Salaki.
That just go back to just the nature of women, man. They need to be led by something, man. If it's gonna be a horoscope, it's gonna be if it's gonna be a man, you know. Now, Babylon is all type of things women like to get, like want to be led by some folly. But this is Genesis chapter 3 and verse and let me get this precept. Verse 16. It says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thine husband, and he shall rule over thee. And so, that's the whole thing for a woman. They need to be ruled over. They need to be led. They just can't be led by a the description of an Aries, man, or the description of a Gemini, or whatever. You know, that's what's leading these women. You know, and like I was saying earlier to Spirit, all that leads them right into what they you know, I'm gonna say in lack of better terms, hey, they stuck on stink, man. They God, and we create everything. When you don't create nothing, women, you don't create nothing. You know, what thing? What in America? What have y'all built? What have y'all create to build? You know,
Damn.
you know, name one thing like that. Anything that's I should say a profitable in the spirit. Like even y'all best um y'all best thing with the best thing y'all was made for, even for conceiving children. I still needed a man to even do that.
Huh?
If it wasn't for the man, hey, you wouldn't have no children. It's plain, you know. Because ultimately, all you are, truthfully, women that thinks in these zodiac signs, all y'all really are is just like a cocoon or a host, really, for the children. Just plainly say it, you know. And y'all carry the baby, y'all nurture it, you know. But that's why, y'all get led into a that Aries thing or whatever that horoscope thing, because that's what they into nowadays, man. You know, like women gotta
Yep.
stop being led by that those posts, man. No means posts. Con, you got a
Yep.
king.
Kind of goes back to the point of what we brought out in Maccabees. Like, we need none of these things to comfort us. Like the brother Yashar was saying, like, they get off on that, they get hyped, but we don't need none of those things. We got the holy scriptures to comfort us, on all fronts. And like the brother said, we have no identity. So everybody wants to cleave to something, and then we might bring up the nations, and then people might get mad and say, oh, well, that's causing division. Like, we'll be on the highways and byways and say, so what are you? And they'll say, oh, I don't want to call myself an Israelite because that's causing division. We're all human beings. But they don't keep that same energy when it comes to horoscopes. Horoscopes actually separating us. Here we are, let's say we're from the same tribe, or just Israel in general. But off of a horoscope, you want to separate from me. You want to separate from me. Off of that's actually causing division. You know, that's actually causing division. Now I don't want to hang with the brother Yasharala because he wasn't born in the same month as me. You stay over there. But brother's got it.
Yeah, but Con, that's plain, through the spirit. But it's ultimately all them things go back to what idolatry. All those things are idolatry to the Most High, and the Most High, we, like we was going to. That's how we got into this situation of being, um, um, in captivity. You know, right? So I'm gonna get this precept real quick. This is
Kind of got one after you, King.
this is Baruch chapter 6 in verse 1. It says, "Because of the sins which ye have committed before Yahweh, ye shall be led away captives into Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylonians. So when ye be come unto Babylon, ye shall remain there many years, for a long season, namely 7 generations, and after that I will bring you away peacefully from them. Now shall ye see Babylon gods of silver and gold and wood borne upon shoulders, which cause the nations to fear." Right? So that's why we in this predicament, because we sin in according to the Most High. Like all these so-called, astrology and these zodiac things, they're ultimately worshiping these gods, and the Most High said not to, you know, and and that's what our people is into, and our people and our men can't condone it, and the women got to get out of it, you know. You know,
Yep.
that's all the part of the collaborate we could do. Hey, women get out of it, men stop condoning it, you know, through the spirit. And if men you doing it, and you need to get out of it as well, you know, and vice versa through the spirit. But Kyle, you gotta keep.
Yeah, man. Con, you got hey, brothers, man. Y'all got to get out. Hey, y'all can't trim your ways, right? Just to get with that Eve. You know, you trying to go into you trying to run that game down with her because you know what I'm saying. Like you trying to run that game down, you know, and be like, oh yeah, well I'm a Gemini and you're a Pisces, so we compatible. You know what I'm saying? Like brother, hey, stop that, man. Hey, you don't even believe in that. You even for real believe in that. You know what I'm saying? But you kind of just, hey, just to get with that Eve, all right? Because you know that she kind of deal with it, brother. You gotta run away. You gotta stop that. All right, gotta stop. Hey, why don't you get you a wife of the truth? You know what I'm saying? Come to the truth, right? And the Most High going to give you a wife of the truth that don't believe in that stuff, all right? Because it's just folly in vain. Like we saying, anything can become a god as long as you give enough power and strength onto it. Anything, you know what I'm saying? That could be for one fold, that could be your wife, that could be your woman. She can become your god because you kind of just giving her power, right? She say, hey, you read and she say, hey, stop that, right? We going over here, we're going to the movies. And you kind of just, hey, it's like you said, what?
You be like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, man. Yes, man. that's that's crazy. Anything can become, it's like it can become your god, and even your Xbox, your PlayStation, right? That can become your god because now you're giving all your power and your strength to that PlayStation, to that game. You're not reading, you're not praying, you're not fasting. You know that's your god now. So, anything really can become a god unto you as long as you give it power and strength, or to a certain extent. So that way, we see that our people is still in idolatry. The Most High hates idolatry. And as we're beginning to wind down through the spirit, I mean, we got to stop that. We got to stop all manner of idolatry through the spirit, man. Right? In these last days, Most High willing. And I'm gonna get out the first commandment, man. Exodus 20 and verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. So in this world, we know that, it's full of idolatry everywhere, to the phone, the media. You walk outside, it's idolatry. Words, right, have idolatry in them, this and the third. So we know idolatry is everywhere in this man's society, in this man's world, for real, right? But the Lord said, thou shalt have no other gods before me. The Most High, he's a jealous God. So if we're giving power to Pisces and Aries and this and the third, the Most High is jealous of that. The Most High hates that, you know? The Most High hates that for real. All right. But yeah, Khan, all praise to the Most High. All right. But let's had anything else on that? We gotta kind of close out the spirit.
So like King, my phone keep it says it's overheating. I guess it's that hot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says it keeps overheating. I don't know what's up with that. What did brothers just bring out? Brothers brought out Exodus 20.
Yeah, Khan. Yep, Exodus 20.
Okay, Khan. Yeah, like the brother was saying that, and that's that's the first commandment.
Yep.
Yep. I was saying ultimately on another level, that's one of the first commandments. That shall have no other gods before me.
Yep.
But yeah, brothers got it.
I got one last precept of the spirit. This is Baruch 6:59. It says, therefore, it is better to be a king that showeth his power, or else a profitable vessel in a house. Hey, so that's to the man. Hey, you gotta be a king in this thing. Hey, show your power, which the owner shall have use of then such false gods, or to be a door in a house to keep such things safe as be therein, then such false gods, or a pillar of wood in a palace, then such false gods. For the sun, moon, and stars, being bright and sent to do their office, are obedient. And like manner the lightning When it breaketh forth, it's easy to be seen, and after the same manner the wind bloweth in every country. So, people want to worship these different things. The sun, the moon, the stars, they obedient to their will. They don't do nothing else. They don't form to be a worship, man. They not formed to be a zodiac signs to the spirit.
Yep. That's not their purpose, man. That's not their purpose at all. All right. But with that, all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Mashiach, Omalaki Abashai. Lord willing, that was a good and edifying lesson through the spirit. Lord willing, brothers kind of learn certain things, and zodiac sign is just madness. Right. But with that, we're gonna bring out a closing precepts of the spirit.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 44, and it reads, "Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh." So again, we have to be ready. We have to be ready for the second coming of Mashiach Yahushua, right? We can't be looking for the second coming of the zodiac signs. We can't be looking for all these vain things, right? All these vain things. We have to be also ready. We have to be also ready for Hamashiach Yahushua, right? For in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh, right? Like brothers always say, hey, the live could shut down right now, right? All hell could break loose right now, right? Brothers had dreams about these things, about the live going on, just like this, right? And Amber Alerts pop up on the phone, right? Saying something like, China and Russia just fired missiles to America, right? At a time when you know not, like that movie Bird Box. I don't know if brothers seen Bird Box. It's just a regular day going on.
Yep.
Next all hell breaks loose. Right? That's in the scriptures. It says for such an hour, for I'm saying, as you think not, the Son of Man cometh. You thinking, oh, I got an hour before I got to do A, B, and C. The Lord can come any day. So we have to be ready. We gotta be on fire, right? We gotta come back to the Most High God. We gotta separate from these vain things and the ways of the heathens, right? But brothers got it.
Calm, person. This is Iraq, chapter 24, verse 24, and it reads, "Faith not to be strong in the Lord, that he may confirm you. Cleave unto him, for the Lord Almighty God is alone, and beside him there is no other Savior." So stop cleaving unto them zodiac signs, man. It's gonna get you jammed up. That's plain as day, man. Stop cleaving unto him. Cleave unto the Most High Yahweh, while Yahweh shot through the Spirit.
Yeah, Hey, that's right, man. That's right. All praises to the Most High. Right. I'm gonna bring out this precept real quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 30. Yeah, Salaki 32 and verse number 8. It says, "So Hanamel, mine uncle's son, came to me in the court of the prison, according to the word of the Lord, and said unto me, By my field, I pray thee, that is in Anathoth, which is in the country of Benjamin, for the right of the inheritance is mine. Salaki is thine, and the redemption is thine. Buy it for thyself. Then I knew that this was the word of the Lord." All right. So what we're doing in this whole video, like how the brother was saying, the point of these videos is to seek out and to search these certain doctrines, to search them out, research them, see if it's of the Most High, and if it's not, then guess what? If it don't line up with the precepts, hey, it's going off, and we're going to destroy it through the Spirit, because it's a heavy stronghold that's on our people, and that's literally the point of these videos, these live streams. So, all praises to the Most High God. So we're only going to know what's the word of the Lord by us searching and seeking it out through the Spirit. All right. So with that, all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Hamashiach, Omalaki Abashai, the water for all that's tuning in through the Spirit. This is Brother Yasha Allah.
Brother Iraq.
This is Brother Gad.
Come back, show yet another video through the Spirit by Yahweh Bashem, Hamashiach, Omalaki Abashai. Shabbat Shalom. Kom Yasha Allah. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.